That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah!
Alright, let's do this.
Team Fortress 2 versus Overwatch, a battle that has been going on for centuries. A battle that even Jesus Christ himself couldn't find an answer to. Can God make two games so epic that even he can't decide which ones are better? Both of these games have dozens of awards and have been rocking the internet for years, some for longer, some for shorter, and I'm going to share with you the millennia-long battle of which is better, Pepsi or Coke, Ranch or blue cheese, Minecraft, Roblox, Team Fortress 2 or Overwatch. But what about Paladins? Surely you can't forget the amazing game of Paladins. It's better than Overwatch and Team Fortress 2. Shut up, that game is dead, unlike my boar here, Team Fortress 2. But in order to talk about which one is better, I feel like I need to give some backstory before we get into the nitty-gritty. Excuse me, but what makes you think that you're qualified to talk about such topics? I'm so glad you asked, you silly bitch. I have thousands of hours in the game of Team Fortress Defense Man II, and I have participated in many tournaments. Some for better, some for worse. We don't talk about those. So I think I have a pretty good grasp on class-based shooters and what makes one good. So hopefully, without any further interruptions, let's find out which one is better. Team Fortress 2 or Overwatch? Team Fortress 2. Ugh. Where do I start with this beautiful baby? Well, I think I should start at the beginning. The beginning of Valve. Valve was a tiny company founded by current CEO Gabe Newell and Mike Harrington on August 24th, 1996 in Kirkland, Washington. But it wasn't until they released their first game under the title Half-Life in 1998 where the ball really started to get rolling. This game was so badass that it even won a few awards. Don't let anyone know I told you this. They were nominated for a few awards, one being BAFTA awards for game. They were nominated for the BAFTA awards under the name game. They were nominated for the BAFTA award for the Game Award, Innovative Game Award, and Moving Images, and Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences nominated Half-Life for Game of the Year, Outstanding Achievement in Arts and Graphics, Outstanding Achievement in Character or Story Development, and so many more. And on top of those nominees, they even won a few awards. The best one by far was given to them by the Game Critic Awards for Best Game. That's it. Just best game. What, you need a title for that? Just best game.
Best game.
A few months later, Valve continued to keep the ball rolling with their second game release, Team Fortress Classic. It released on April 7th, 1999. So did Valve just decide to throw the word classic in there? Like, why not just call it Team Fortress? It's almost like they knew something was coming. Nah, Gabe Newell's not some kind of mastermind. He's just got one good game so far, and this game, it's just a passing fad, is what I would say if I was a complete bumbling buffoon like this guy. What do you think? What do you think? I'm some sort of dum-dum? So many games were created by Valve, so many good games. Look at all these games. You think you could do something like this? No, you can't even rock a good pair of Skechers Light Up sneakers. Unlike me, I wear the best Gucci slide socks.
I wish I could fucking chew on those toes, man.
But after all these games, Valve had an announcement to make in Gamescom on July 13th, 2006. At this point in time, Valve is at the top top of their game with their latest releases of Half-Life 2 and Half-Life 2 Episode 1. Gabe Newell has stacks of cash thicker than his booty sliding into some slim cut tight jeans. Gamers and gamettes had their knees cackling in their mouths off, drooling at the mere idea that there was going to be a new, exciting announcement made by Valve. They were going to have 3 new games in one big bundle, and not only that, but they also get Half-Life 2 and Half-Life 2 Episode 1 all wrapped up in this giant yet small orange box. So you're basically getting 5 games in one small orange box for $49.95. That's basically 5 games for $10 each, and these aren't like your bottom of the bargain bin games. These are beautiful, crafted games. You got Half-Life 2 and its episodes, and you get Portal and the all-inglorious Team Fortress Classic The Squeakquel, later revised to the name of Team Fortress 2 for obvious reasons, because there was going to be a lawsuit by an already copyrighted IP. But we're not talking about these dumb, stupid, beautifully, masterfully crafted games. Oh. No! Did you even look at the title? Can you even read? You should be ashamed of yourself for thinking such a stupid thing. I'm laughing at you, and so are your smelly parents. We're talking about Team Fortress 2, a complete masterpiece, only to be rivaled by Jumpstart 5th Grade for the PC, but let's be honest here, it's been #1 game since 2002, so it's kind of an unfair comparison. TF2 has been a cult classic since the day that it came out, racking up tens of thousands of players every day, and despite people saying that it's dying, it actually racked up its #1 most played night in November of 2018 of over 100,000 players. If it's dying, can you explain that? Didn't think so, idiot. The game is still alive, and despite it being active for about 12 years, it still racks in many players every single day. Could you imagine if Call of Duty 4, the original one that was released in 2007, kept racking up that many people every day, despite multiple FPSs coming out all the time? I know it's unfair to compare Team Fortress 2 to Call of Duty because Call of Duty makes a new game every year, and Team Fortress 2 has been the only one made by Valve, but you get my point. Stop being a smartass. Team Fortress 2 is the pinnacle of class-based shooters, and there is not a single game that can even hold a candlelight to this kind of game. What is that? What is that noise? What is that? Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. What is? Okay! Move over, Grandpa. It's time for a brand new, spanking new game. Your 10-year-old looking ass is way overdue. It me, the greatest game ever created, the new, the glorious, the fantastic
Overwatch.
Almost 10 years later, in 2016, this amazing game came out. Y'all remember 2016? God, what a shit show.
Wrong.
That is absolutely
Wrong.
proved.
2016 looked like it was going to be a bit of a disappointment for some, but what's this? A brand new first-person class-based shooter created by Blizzard? But Blizzard doesn't create shooters. It creates click games. Those Moabs. No, that's from Bloons Tower Defense. What the fuck am I? The Moabs. No. MOBAs. That's what it is. MOBAs. Blizzard just created games where you just spam left click all the time. They created Diablo, they created Warcraft, they created Cookie Clicker. So it's just a bunch of games where you left click, but then they just come over and they create this brand new game called
Overwatch.
But how do we get to
Overwatch.
So let's get back to a much simpler time. 1991. The 90s. Who could forget the 90s, except for me, because I was born in 97, and I barely even remember what I had for breakfast yesterday. But for those that care, the 90s was the decade that one of the most popular gaming companies was about to come out. Blizzard was founded on February 8th, 1991, under the name Silicon and Synapse. You remember that? Nobody does. It's probably because they only made 3 games. Their first game was called RPM Racing, which was released for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System in November 1991. And, fun fact, this was actually one of the first SNES games to be released with something called High Resolution Graphics Mode, which basically means that you can have amazing resolution, however, you kinda had to dumb down on the colors a little bit. So it looks like your boy Logan Paul can play this without his stupid glasses. Even back in 1991, Blizzard was still being innovative. I mean, look at this! You ain't getting games like this in Super Mario Bros., I'll tell you that much. What are you playing, NBA Jam? NBA? More like, nah, bitch ass. It wasn't until 1994 that Silicon and Synapse decided to change their name over to Blizzard. Throughout the next 20 years, Blizzard was going to be creating all these amazing games. Warcraft, Diablo, StarCraft, World of Warcraft, Heroes of Our Storm, Hearthstone, and the amazing Overwatch. This game was already lined up to be a complete success, and not to discredit Valve or anything, but Blizzard is a much, much bigger company, and they even merged with Activision in 2008, so Blizzard already had a leg up on Valve. Valve, I love you, but you are like the GameCube of gaming companies. Not many people liked you or bought you, but for the people that did, you were outstanding. Overwatch was promised to be packed with the brim with amazing content like beautiful characters, map designs, and a simple to use class-based meta. 2 damage classes, 2 supports, and 2 tanks. Immediately, many people were hooked on the game, racking up 7 million people on the first week of release. It's clear that this game is a massive hit, and just blows Team Fortress 2 right out of the water, with the sheer amount of gamers that it had. Epic gamers. But Team Fortress 2 wasn't going down without a fight. When Overwatch came out, there were videos after videos comparing Team Fortress 2 to Overwatch. Some good.
You think you could beat that? Nope.
Allows for more strategically constructed
It's just
teams
bad.
compared to the massive battles of TF2.
It's just bad.
Team Deathmatch.
As someone who has had Team Fortress 2 for about 9 years, and have been playing competitively since 2017, I feel like I have a good grasp of Team Fortress 2. I was even one of those fanboys that decided to dog on Overwatch of its clear inspiration from Team Fortress 2. But recently, I decided to go off the deep end. I gave Overwatch a try. And you know what? It wasn't that bad. So does Overwatch stand up? Let's find out. But if you want to find out, you're going to have to stick around and wait for part 2. If you want to see part 2, why don't you hit that subscribe button? Maybe hit that notification bell too. And maybe, if you're feeling extra spicy, add this to your favorites.
You are dead.
Do they even do favorites anymore? Is that even a thing? I don't know. This video took a lot of work. I've never really made a video like this before, and it's one of the first times I've ever done something like this, so it definitely took me a while to figure out how the hell to use a camera. I've never used one before. Apparently, they're pretty complicated. So, it would mean a lot to me if you just leave positive comments down below. Only positive comments. If I see a single negative comment on this video, I will send you to prison. And not a typical prison. A prison where there's only dead memes playing on loop all day, 24/7. And all you'll see are damn Daniel memes and my name is Jeff. So please, do yourself a favor and just take a steaming hot dump on that like button. If you'd like to see me play games or do research on what I'm going to talk about next, you can look in the description where I have my Twitch where I stream very often. Thank you all for watching my video. I greatly appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Peace out.